So, good morning everyone. We'll continue with the CSAT 2021 paper discussion. And in the last session, we missed out this particular question. So, we'll solve this and we'll continue with the other questions. So, this question asks, so it gives two sequences. So, sequence 1 follows certain pattern, and he says these are identical sequences. That means what the pattern that sequence 1 is following, even sequence 2 follows the same pattern. Now, what is he asking is what is the entry place of C, that is this particular thing. So, you will be able to only find out this when you know the pattern in sequence 1. So, let's try to find out the pattern. There was a similar question in the previous session. There it was when we saw the differences were in arithmetic mean. So, there was some pattern we could find out last time. But here if you see, so always, as I said, your first intuition should be to find out the differences. So, let's see the differences. If I write the numbers, if you see the difference here is -4, the difference here is +2, the difference here is +9, then it's around what 35, 37.5 and so on. So, what you find is you can't find any arithmetic mean or some pattern in the differences. -4 is negative, then +2 you have +9, then 37.5. So, you can get a sense of understanding that maybe this is not following an arithmetic mean. So, your next intuition should be to find out if there is any geometric mean or any instead of the differences, is there any pattern in the divisors of it, or when you divide one number with the another, do you find any pattern? So, let's see what that means. So, now if you write 8, 4, 6, 15, 52.5 and 236.5. Okay. So, now let's say now since we have already finished off subtraction and addition, let's go with multiplication or division. Now, from 8 to 4, how much do you need to multiply? 1 by 2, that is 0.5. Now, from 4 to 6, what you have to multiply? If you see 6 by 4 is 3 by 2, which is 1.5. Yeah. So, this is 1.5. Now, let's say what is 15 by 6? So, that also you calculate. 15 by 6, 3 2s and 3 5s. 5 by 2 is 2.5. So, this is 2.5. So, you see a pattern getting emerged. Next, you see 52.5 by 15. Okay. So, 52.5 by 15. Now, here also 5 3s. 10.5. 3.5. So, you see this is 3.5. So, 15 into 3.5 gives you 52.5, and also you can see this number is almost like 50s and 240, so it must be somewhere around 4 times or 5 times, and if you calculate you will get this is 4.5. Just by looking at numbers also you need to get that idea of how to do the multiplication. So, on a just intuitive basis you can say this is in the range of 50s, this is in the range of 240s. So, either it should be 5 times or 4 times on that range, and if you could see the pattern, it's almost coming 4.5. You can also calculate, you'll get 4.5. So, now what you have seen is you have a pattern here where the multipliers are in geometric progression or in arithmetic progression. So, you have 0.5, you have 1.5, you have 2.5, you have 3.5, you have 4.5. So, now you have found out a pattern in the sequence 1, and now he's saying two identical sequences means sequence 2 will also follow the same pattern. That means 5 into 0.5 you will get number A, then this number A into 1.5 you will get number B, then B into 2.5 you will get C. Okay. So, and again you need not find A, B, C separately, you can directly find C by saying that, so C will be 5 into 0.5 into 1.5 into 2.5. Yeah. Now, here also if you see, if you want to get to 15, 8 into 0.5 into 1.5 into 2.5, directly you will get 15. So you need not find A and B separately, you can directly find C. Now if you multiply this, let's see what we get. C will be, now we know that 5 into 0.5 is 2.5 and 2.5 into 2.5 will be 6.25, right? So C will be 6.25 into 1.5. Okay. Now if you see the options, you need not do the entire multiplication also. You will get a basic understanding, like, no, let's say we are multiplying a number which is greater than 6 and a number which is greater than 1.5. So obviously this can't be the answer, this can't be the answer. Now it can't be so big also, because you know that 6R is 36, but this is 32. So somewhere the number has to be in 5 or 6. This number has to be in range of 5 or 6 to get 32. So you can cancel out this. So remaining is, and you also know on intuition 6 into 1.5 is 9, right? So 6 into 1.5, 6 into 3 by 2, which is 9. So this is almost near 9. So you can directly do this instead of the multiplication. So again, as I said, always see the options. Be a little strategic in seeing the options and answering, because you have very less time in paper. You can't do the entire you can do it. It takes maybe, let's say, 1 minute, but you can save that 1 minute by just seeing the options. Okay, got it? Shall we move next question? Okay. Yeah, so this question. So all those who follow cricket will find this question very easier. And for those who don't know cricket, so it gives, let's say, 4 people who have scored these many runs in these many balls faced. So you get some balls, you play, you score some runs, and this is what the score is. Now what they're asking is, who is the fastest run scorer? So for those who know cricket, we understand a concept called strike rate. That is how many runs we have scored in how many balls. That is what is strike rate. And but what the problem here is, he has given in different innings. In the first part of the match, these many runs and these many balls. Second match, in these many balls and these many runs. So when he is asking the fastest run scorer in the test match, he is not asking innings. Okay, he is asking the match. That means you have to calculate the entire, both first innings and second innings, and get the final score and final balls. Then you will know what is for the test match. Okay, so that is the confusion generally. Normally people will say whether to, because if you see the example of, let's say, this person A. Now here in almost 100 balls he scores 61, whereas in 76 balls he scores 14. So here is faster, here is slower. So which one to take will be a confusion generally. But since he says match, you have to calculate for the entire match. So you have to add up. Now can someone tell me, if you add up the scores, let's say total runs of A, B, C and D. Okay, so what will be the total runs of A? 61 plus 14, it is 75. Then 5 plus 50, it is 55. Then 15 plus 20, it is 35. 13 plus 12, it is 25. Similarly, total balls, +99 plus 76, 175. 12 plus 85, it will be 97. 75 plus 50, it will be 125. And 55 plus 50 will be 105. Cool, no problem. Now what we have to find out is the strike rate, or if you are not familiar with the term strike rate, you have to just see the efficiency, like in how many less balls, how many more runs they have scored, because he's telling fastest run scorer. So someone should score fastest means within how many given balls, how many maximum runs he has made. That is what we have to find. So let's find out the strike rate. So here what you have to do is divide runs by balls. Okay, so here 75 by 175 will be 25 threes and 25 sevens. So it will be 3 by 7. 3 by 7 will be almost, if you calculate, it will be 0.4 something. Let's see which decimal it goes. Let's say it is 0.4. It will have some, but round off it will, let's say 0.4, 0.3 or something it will come. Next 55 by 97. So Another suggestion I would give is, don't go for the exact calculations because it will take some time. Intuitively, you can see 97 balls is almost equal to 100. So 55 by 100 will be 55% or 0.55. But since it is a little less than 100, denominator will be less. So you can assume 0.56 or 0.57. So let's assume this will be around, I'm not telling the exact number, just for your convenience. Let's say it will be somewhere around 0.56. It will be in this range only. Now 135 by 125, this will be what? 5 sevens and 5 25s. Yeah, now this is 7 by 25. Now how do you convert this? Is multiply by 4 here and multiply by 4 here. If the denominator, if you multiply by 4, it becomes 100. The numerator becomes 28. So it is a simple 0.28. Okay, you need not know 25 table, you need not know how to divide 7. You just make this a complete fraction. 25 into 100, 25 into 4, 7 into 4. This one 28. Now again here 25 by 105. This number is also almost around 100. So this should be 0.25. But since this number is a little above 100, it will be somewhat less than 0.25. So let's say 0.23 or 0.24. Let's assume 0.24. Now clearly you can see the ranges are very wide. The ranges are very wide here. And obviously this second person has scored the maximum strike rate. Rest all are in 0.28, 0.24, 0.42. So you need, actually if the numbers are very close, you had to divide and find it till decimal. But here you can clearly see the ranges are very wide apart. So this basic level of intuition is also enough. You need not know the entire mathematics or the entire division. So you can easily find that person B will have the fastest run scorer in the test match. Okay. Yeah. So this question is a little, I would say, difficult, but we can crack it. It's not not uncrackable, but we can solve it with some kind of effort. Okay. So this says half of the villages of a certain village have their own houses. He's saying half. Okay. Then what he says, 1/5 of the villages cultivate paddy. 1/3 of the villages are literate, and 4/5 of the villages are under 25 years of age. Now he's asking combinations like, have their own houses, 25 years, villages. So all the categories that he has given, he is mentioning, and he's asking how many set of people satisfy these conditions. So before going itself, as we have seen in one of the previous questions, when there are such statements given, extreme statements, always try to be a little cautious about them. There we have seen this almirahs and cats problem, where say, and radios, mobiles problem also, where say some radios are mobiles, but can you say all radios are computers? Some kind of question like that. So whenever it comes all or some, just be aware. So here if you see in the options, all again is an extreme example, only again is a extreme statement, no again is no village under 25 has his own house, is again an extreme example. So but here it says some. Yeah. So just by looking at options, maybe this might be correct, maybe. But let's see, we have to solve it properly because you can't go by these intuition. This is just for your, how do you say, confirmation. So if you go about it, now you can represent this in some kind of a, this square kind of a diagram or rectangle. Half of the villages of a certain village have their own house. So let's say house, you have half of them you have house, half of them don't have. 1/5 of the villagers cultivate paddy. So paddy, if you see, within the same village, only 1/5 of them cultivate paddy, rest of them cultivate some other crops. 4/5 of the villagers are under 25 years age. So 25 years, you find maximum almost 80% is under 25 years age, and 1/3 of the villagers are literate. Okay, almost 1/3 are literate. Now let's say what first statement you see, all the villagers who have their own houses are literate. Now what is he saying? All the villagers who have their own houses. We know half of the villagers have their own houses. That means 50%. So this is what? 50%. But what is he saying? Are literate. But you know literate are only 1/3. That is only 33%. 50 and 33 are not same. So you can eliminate option A. Then he's saying some villages under 25 years of age are literate. So if you see 25 years are almost 80% of the people are under 25 years. Now he's saying what? Some of them are literate. So we have to go by opposite. Let's see how many are not illiterate. So you can, from this statement, you know that 33% are literate. Means almost your 67% are illiterates. Let's say all this 67% belong to 25 years and less age. That means still there will be 13% of people who are under 25 years who are not illiterates. That means at least 13% of them who are under 25 years are literates. Okay, gone above the head. So let's again we'll see. What is he saying is now 33% are literate, means 67% are illiterates. So the 25 years and less group is so big, it is almost 80%, that even let's say all illiterates belong to that less than 25 years age group also, you will still have 13% left who are literates. That means someone you will find who is below 25 years age who is a literate. So some villages under 25 years are literate. So this is a possibility, obviously, because extreme case also you will find if all these are illiterates are also below 25, still there will be 13% left who are literates. So this might be correct. Only half of the villagers who cultivate paddy are literate. So this means now how much cultivate paddy? 20%. He said 1/5. Only half of the villagers who cultivate paddy are literates. So half of this is 10%. But how many are literate? 33%. So 10% and 33% is wrong again. So this option is wrong. No villager under 25 years of age has his own house. Okay. So that means how many villages are under 25 years of age? 80%. You can see here 80% are 25. He's saying none of them has a own house. That means only 20% will have own house at max. But here you see 50% are having own house. So that is also wrong. Okay. So the answer is B. That is some villages under 25 years of age are literate. Got it? Any doubt in this or any confusion you can ask me.
Sir,
yeah.
Actually, those rules are all some.
Huh.
So not rules, but from the previous questions.
Yeah.
It's actually applicable to GS1.
Yes. So no, yeah. So that is generally they say it's a trick in GS1 also. But here, as I said, because the only thing is all only no. If you have to negate the statements, even if you give one counter example also, these all statements will be wrong. So it is easier to negate. So the probability of these statements being wrong is more. Because you can, one counter example I'll give, then this entire statement will be wrong. But let's say for some villages are 25 years of literate, 1, 2, 3, 10 counter examples are also not enough to negate this statement. If I say some Indians are good, obviously that's a generic statement. Obviously some Indians are good. If I say all Indians are good, I can just find out one criminal and say, see, he's an Indian, but he's doing wrong things. So this statement is wrong. So it's very easy to disprove a extreme statement, but very difficult to disprove a generic statement. That is one funda. But I'm not saying this will be the actual way to solve. You should solve like this. And this is easier also. If you see the percentages also, you can easily see they are not matching. The information he has given only is not matching. Okay, so you can just go back again and see the explanation, you will understand. Once again, if you solve on your own, you will understand this question. We'll go to the next question. Okay, so this is a calendar problem. So he gave two statements. The last day of a month is a Wednesday and the third Saturday of the month was 17th day. What day is the 14th of the given month? Okay, so by the sight of it, it might seem very confusing and you might, there's a tendency to leave such questions. But trust me, this is actually an easy question. All you need to know is understand how calendar is. You all see calendar daily. So if you know how a calendar looks like also, you can solve this. So let's see how we'll do. So he's saying the last day of a month is Wednesday. Now, first of all, you don't know what is the last day of the month. I mean, you don't even know what is the month. If it's February, it is 28. If it's a leap year, it will be 29. If it's let's say March, April, it will be 31. If it will be April, it will be 30. So you never know what he's speaking exactly. But let's see for the second statement. So I mean, I'm saying you can't go much further with this kind of a statement. Let's see for the second statement. The third Saturday of the month was 17th day. That means, let's say if it is March 17th is third Saturday. So let's see a basic calendar how it looks like. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. Now he's saying third Saturday. Means there is a third Saturday in the month. We don't know which month. Is 17. So let's say this is the first week. This will be the second week. This will be the third Saturday. And this is 17. Okay. Now I'll call a 5th class student and ask to fill this. Because calendar everyone knows how to see it. Now I'll say, okay, I'll go backwards. It will be 16. It will be 15. 14. 13. 12. Here Sunday again 11. You have 10. You have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, now he's saying the last day of the month is a Wednesday. Wednesday we have to stop. That means you can't go again, you can stop at 35 also, but there are no 35 days in a month. So you have to stop it here only. Okay, based on statement 1. So this is your month. Now can you tell me which month it is? It has to be February. Okay, now what is he saying? Which one of the following is correct in respect of the statements and question? So the question is, what day is the 14th of the given month? So 14th is here, that is Wednesday. So to answer this question, you only need statement 2, because this 28 wala you don't need actually. This only I said to find out the entire month, but as we said, only when we did this first, only the backwards when we went, even your statement 2 is itself enough to find out that 14th is Wednesday. So you can say that statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Okay, any doubt? Sorry. Oh, okay. Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. If they ask any other thing, let's say if they ask, okay, tell me which month it is. If that is a question, then you should say we need statement 1 and statement 2 also, because we need to stop at Wednesday, that is at 28. But here it only says tell me what day is 14th. So only statement 2 alone is sufficient. This alone is sufficient. This is not required. Yeah.
The month is not given.
Yeah.
So we can assume any day is day 14.
No, we can't, right? Because this, as I said, now if we let's say they don't give last day of a month is Wednesday, then I don't know where to stop. Okay, I'll just say I don't know where to stop. I can go 28, 29, 30, 31, anything I can go. Yeah, but he's asking 14th day, no? The question, what day is the 14th of the given month? That's it.
Yes, sir. We can assume 31st as an Wednesday.
How will you assume? Because see, this is the pivot here.
So because with the sufficient statement on alone is sufficient to answer the question.
Ama.
We go with that model, it is possible, right? Without thought of second statement. Just in
No. So because here you don't know, here because you know 17th you have placed it. Let's say you don't know statement 2. He only says the last day of the month is Wednesday. So let's say if you fix 31 as last day, then you will get 14th on some other day. If you fix 30 as your last day, you will get some other day. 28 you will get some other day. So you can't answer this question exactly with only this one statement. You can't start, first of all, you can't start answering only with this statement.
So for that, we have to answer both the statement while answering, right?
No, when you're saying?
Sir, when thought of going only with the first statement.
If only first statement is given, then you have to, this is not enough, so you have to go with second statement. But he's saying only for this question, what statement is required? Second statement is enough, only for this question. If the question was something else, as I said, let's say what day of, let's say what is the final, what day of the month it ends with? Is it 30th, is it 31st, or is it 28th? Then we require both statements. Okay, but in this particular question, you only required statement 2. Okay. So this is again what do you say, an interesting question, I would say, again similar to a calendar problem, but you all must be knowing what this date is. Not exactly 27, but 2021, it was the exam date. On that day, they asked this question. So everyone knows prelims happens on which day? Sunday. So 10th October, 10/10/2021 was a Sunday. Yeah. So he's asking after 6 years. So someone who's giving his 7th attempt might be again writing then. So let's see. So next will be what? 10/10/2022. What date will be? Monday. Then 10/10/2023 will be? Okay, Tuesday. Then 10/10/2024 will be what? Yeah, Thursday, because it's a trick here. 2024 is a leap year. So any day that comes after February 29th will have an extra day added to it from the normal sequence. Because 29th day in February will get added. So you will get an extra day. So it had to be Wednesday, but because of the leap year scenario, it becomes Thursday. Then 10/10/25 will be Friday. 10/10/2026 is again what day? Saturday. So 10/10/2027 will be Sunday, because there is no other leap year in the process. Now had it been 2028, okay, that is another leap year. So instead of Monday, it will come Tuesday. Okay, so if they ask 2028, it would have been a leap year again. So 10/10/2028 would have been not Monday but Tuesday. But since they're asking us this date, you can go with Sunday. Okay. So this is a basic calendar thing, and everyone knows. You can see, actually you can know this by your birthday itself. What day is your birthday in this month, in this year, will be a day, like let's say if it is Wednesday, next year you will get it on Thursday. That everyone knows from childhood. Only thing is, leap year you have to be a little careful. Okay. Yeah, so they have given 2 statements and they have given 4 conclusions. So we have to find out what is the correct. Again, see, again the statements are some greens are blue, some blues are blacks. We have seen similar questions. Almost we have seen, I think, 2-3 questions of this pattern. So this pattern is recurring. So be careful of such patterns. Practice as many problems as possible. You can easily get this. So in the last class, we have used Venn diagrams to solve such questions. Let's try using Venn diagrams again. So it says some greens are blues. So green is there, blue is there. So last time I said there will be some intersection. Whenever he says some, that means there is some intersection here. Next he says some blues are black. So this is blue and this is black. So again there must be some intersection. Okay. So these are the only 2 statements he has given. Now he is giving conclusions. So as done in last class, we will combine those 2 diagrams to find the final conclusions. So you can combine it as this. So this is green, this is blue, and this is black. Okay. So remember, this is only one kind of a diagram. You can also have these 2 combined. I mean, you can have a area where green and black can also match. This is one of the forms. The other form can be, I'll just show you. This is green, this is blue, and this is black. Okay. This is the intersection here, and this is the intersection here. So there might be some area which is like common to all 3 of them. possibility. Last time one of the girls asked the doubt, what if, she has another scenario. So this particular diagram can actually, this is one possibility, this is another possibility. They can be merged also. So let's see the conclusions over there. So he's saying some greens are blacks. Conclusion. So can you actually conclude? No, in this case, yes, some greens have, this is the green circle, this is the black circle. Here you can say, yes, some greens are blacks. But if it is this case, you cannot say, because green circle and black circle do not have anything in common. So there might be a doubt here saying that since this is a possibility, can't we say this? These are two different possibilities. According to one possibility, this statement is true. But according to another possibility, this is not true. But here it's saying conclusion means just by two statements you can conclude this. Just by these two statements can you say this? Here you can't say this, because since this is already a possibility where there is nothing common in green and black, you can say, so you can somewhat say like these are like the conclusive things. Like conclusively you can say whether greens and blacks have something in common. You can say no. You can't say conclusively. You can say possibly, but you can't say conclusion that definitely they have something in the common. Okay. So this statement is actually wrong. Okay. Any confusion? A little tricky, but yes, this statement is wrong. Second, he says no green is black. Again, in this particular scenario, if you see, no green is black. I mean, green and black have nothing in common. But if you see this diagram, green circle and black circle again have something in common. Okay. So this is a possibility again. But what is he saying? No green is black. This also is wrong, because you can find something in black and green common. So when you solve such questions, you should actually see the entire two diagrams, two extreme possibilities where nothing is common and where almost you have something in common. When you keep these two diagrams, because why I am telling is this is case 1 and this is case 2. Now both cases are possible with the given information. This is the trick here. Both cases are possible with the given statement. So you cannot say that no green is black. In this case it is black. Okay, so this is also wrong. Now what he says again, all greens are blacks. Now you can see this, obviously they don't have anything in common, but here they have some area in common. But you can't say everything that is green is black, because there is some area exclusive to their own this thing. They have their own area exclusively belonging to their own color. So all greens cannot be blacks. And he's saying all blacks are greens. Similar statement. Black has its own exclusive area. So not all blacks can be greens. So this is also wrong. So basically none of the conclusions you can say are correct. So yeah, so option D, neither conclusion 1, 2, 3 or 4 are correct. Huh.
Some greens may be blacks. The conclusion is like that.
Yes. Yes. Some greens may be blacks. Obviously, with this conclusion, I will say yes, it is true. So when that element of uncertainty comes into the statement, then there is a probability of it being correct. When I say some greens may be blacks, that's an uncertain thing that is saying maybe. Then obviously in this particular case it is happening. But when he says some greens are blacks, that means he's somewhat conclusively saying that some greens should be black or are black in the given statement. But we have seen it is not. But when he says maybe, then obviously with even, as I said again, when he say may, one example also will be true for making it a correct statement. When he says conclusively that some blacks are, so here you should not go by these names here. It might be a little confusing. You should go by these things. Okay, R is RR. So here it is giving a conclusive kind of a statement. So instead of concentrating here, you should concentrate on these. Okay, this is a little change, but almost similar. Okay, shall we continue? Okay, yeah, we got another sequence again. So this sequence kind of questions also, you be careful, and you need to first find out a pattern and then see how to answer them. Okay, and if you see the options also, almost they are close. They are in the range of 600s, 600 0 to 610, there in between them. So you can assume that this is somewhere, X will be somewhere in the range of 600. Okay, okay, because obviously the options are like that. Always look at the options for a better understanding of the question. Now, if you see, okay, again, we have to go by first principles. Let's say you again find the difference between them. Now, we have 2, 7, 22, 67, 202 and 1822. Now, this is in the range of 600, we know. So, put x here and then 1822. So, if you see, the difference here is 5, here it is 15, here it is 45, here it is how much? Yeah. No. 135. Correct, right? So here we don't know, and here also we don't know because we don't know x is here. Right? So you see there is a pattern 5, 15, 45, 135. But this is like, what is the pattern again? 5 into 3, 15. 15 into 3, for again 3. 45 into 3. Yeah. So let's see what is the pattern here. Like 135 threes will be how much? Okay. So this is, let's say this is 3. Yeah. So this must be 3 again. So this is 405. Okay. So now if you add 202 with this 405, you will get x. 607. Simple. Again, always go with first principle. Just find out the difference. Maybe you will see at the very first sight of it, you might not feel anything is common, but that is where is the the catch or the value addition. That okay, it might seem difficult. The question, it is giving x, it is giving some random numbers, some 4-digit number, some 2-digit number. At the sight of it, it might feel a little difficult, but if you can actually see close through it and understand what is the hidden pattern, you will find it is very easy actually. Just take the difference. Okay, you're finding something in common. Okay, 15, 45, you see 5 factors here. Then maybe, okay, in this, is there any pattern? Oh yes, we see that, okay, every number is a multiple of the previous, 3 multiple of the previous number. So you have found a pattern. Then you have to work it backwards. 3 you got, so 135 3s, 405, just add it, 607. And you also know the range, it should be somewhere in the 600s. It is 600s. And if you see even more closely, these numbers are actually in the range of x into 3 plus 1 kind of a form. Okay, that means 2 into 3 plus 1 is 7. 7 into 3 plus 1 is 22. 22 into 3 plus 1 is 67. 67 into 3 plus 1 is 202. 202 into 3 plus 1 will be 607. 607 into 3 plus 1 will be 1822. Okay, that is the formula, but don't go by formulas. Just go by the options and the basic. So, there's something called first principle. So, first principles means where whatever comes to you intuitively or logically without knowing the background. So, always CSAT, the kind of questions they're asking, even if you go by first principles also, you'll be able to solve. You need not find the arithmetic, you do not use the jargons also, arithmetic progression, geometric progression, no need. Just see the difference, find it and done. Because this is an arithmetic progression and this is how you found the common difference, then the common multiple, and then that's all not required. You can just see logically what is the pattern and get it done. If it had been a very difficult paper, like a proper aptitude paper, how they do in some of the exams, then you need to, they'll give some very big numbers where finding the difference will itself be very big. In those kind of scenarios, you require formula, you require mathematical knowledge and all. But for this, only if you can do basics also, you will be able to answer the question. So whenever you see such questions, always think I have to go by first principles. So you have to understand it is within my range only. Only thing is I have to look what is the pattern and what is to find out. Okay, that is the kind of perspective you should have while solving these questions. Okay. So next question, there are two persons, Jay and Vijay. He's saying they spent an equal amount of money to buy some pens and special pencils of same quality. That means all pens and all whatever they're buying are from, let's say, same shop. They get the same brand of pencils and special shops from same store also. Everything is same basically. If Jay bought 3 pens and 5 pencils, Vijay bought 2 pens and 7 pencils, then which one of the following is correct? He's basically comparing the price of pencil and price of pen here. Okay. So now we have to find out what is the price of pens and pencils based on the given data. So let's represent again from here to here in figures. So we have J and we have Vijay. How many pens and how many pencils? So if you put your information like this, it will be easier for you. Pencils. So J bought three pens and 5 pencils. Vijay bought 2 pens and 7 pencils. Okay. Now, since what we want to find out is the cost actually. So we don't know what is cost of pen and cost of pencils. So what we do when we don't know, we assume X and Y. Okay. So since they are saying pens and pencils are of same quality from same store, the cost of pens bought by both of them will be the same. I mean, let's say if he's finding some Reynolds pen, both will be buying the Reynolds pen only. So the cost of Reynolds pen will be same. So let's assume the cost of pen is X and cost of pencil is Y. Okay. Then what is the cost total amount spent by J? It will be 3 pens into cost of each pen, 3x, plus 5 pencils into cost of each pencil, 5y. Similarly, Vijay bought 2 pens, so it will be 2x cost, plus he bought 7 pencils, so it will be 7y. Okay. Any confusion in this? This x and y, by writing it might seem a little abstract, but we have assumed, no, like pens, 6 pens, cost of each pen is x. So obviously, if it is 10 rupees, it will be 3 into 10, 30. If it is 5, it will be 3 into 5, 15. We don't know. So let's assume it is x. So 3x plus 5 and pencils cost is y. So it will be 2x plus 7y. Now what is he saying? Equal amount of money to buy. That means both have spent equal money. They were given a same budget. Let's say 100 rupees, 100 rupees. Buy whatever you want within those 100 rupees. So that means this and this should be equal. This is the total amount spent by J and this is the total amount spent by Vijay. So both should be same. So equate them. 3x plus 5y is equal to 2x plus 7y. Bring x here and go send y that side. So it will be x is equal to 2y. Okay, that means x is what? Cost of pen. So cost of one pen is 2 times cost of pencil. That means pen is costlier. Intuitively also. It need not be here, but intuitively also cost of pen is more than cost of pencil. So here what is he saying? A pencil costs more than a pen, which we have seen is wrong. The price of a pencil is equal to that of a pen. This is also wrong. The price of a pen is 2 times the price of the pencil. Price of the pen, yeah, this is the price of the pen and this is the price of the pencil. So what we have found is 2 times. Obviously, this is the factor here. So this is correct. The price of the pen is 3 times. This is wrong. So it is 2 times. Okay, any doubt? Only thing is represent them like this. Your life will be easier. Just represent in terms of some matrix like this where number is clearly visible. The next step is to assume the cost. Whatever you don't know, assume it. Don't assume don't take cost of pen to be 10 rupees directly, because then that will change the entire thing. If you don't know anything, put it as x. Then put it as y. Then you find out what is given, equate them, you will get it. Every step you should be having clear clarity. What is the step? What is the next step? And how to get to the final conclusion. And wherever you don't know, no need to panic, just assume things. Slowly they'll get evolved. So you don't know x and y, but you got to know there is a relation between them. So now you can say, okay, if x is 10, y will be 5. If x is 20, y will be 10, like that. So if you don't know, assume it. Again, this is some kind of a relation. So it says P scored 40 marks more than Q in an exam. Okay. If Q scored 10% less marks than P, then how much did Q score? So from here to here, let's represent it in marks. Okay, now I'll assume marks scored by P is X, let's say for simplification we can put small p, okay, and marks, because we don't know anything about their marks, exact number and all, we can only assume things. So this is assume, okay, as I said, we don't know, we'll assume, but we know some relation between them. P scored 40 marks more than Q, that means whatever, if Q scored 100, P will score 140, if Q scored 60, P will score 100. So P will be Q plus 40. Okay, cool. Any problem? Next statement. This is one statement. Next statement. If Q scored 10% less marks than P. Okay. So 10% less marks than P. So let's say, what is 10% of 100? 10. What is 10% of 10? 1. So basically whenever there is 10%, means that is actually 0.1. Okay, you can assume 10% into 0.1. So Q scored 10% marks less than P. So what is 10% of marks of P? 0.1 P, because we know it 10% is 0.1, marks of P is 0. So Q will be, let's say, sorry, this is small q. So what is he saying? Q scored how much ever P scored minus 10% less of it. Okay. He's saying Q scored 10% less marks than P. 10% is one thing and less marks than P is one thing. So it is scoring somewhere less than P, and how much less than? It is 10%, that is 0.1 of P. So P minus 0.1 P, how much it will be? 0.9 P. Okay, so this is my first equation I got, and this is my second equation I got. Okay, now you know Q is 0.9 of P. So you put Q here, substitute 2 in 1, what you will get? P is equal to 0.9 P plus 40. If you send P here, it will be 0.1 P is equal to 40. Okay, P minus 0.9 is 0.1. So P will be how much? 40 by 0.1. This is, you multiply 10 and 10, numerator and denominator, you will get 400. So you got P as 400, and you know Q is from this point, or from here only, you know Q, P, if let's say P is 400, Q will be 400 minus 40. So Q will be 360. Yeah, P minus 40 will be Q. So then how much did Q score? It is 360. So represent each of them, whatever you don't know, assume first. Assumptions I made, then I'm slowly forming the relations between these assumptions. This is the first relation, this is the second relation. For two variables, two relations are enough, or two equations are enough, then you will get the answer. By simple algebra also you'll get it. I also encourage you to ask doubts, because if I go monotonous on, only on my side, because I have clarity and I don't know what different people are thinking differently, I might think only in my own way of thinking. So I'll not know what kind of doubts or apprehensions you have about the problems. So if you can ask doubts, then I'll be able to solve it or explain you better, because this is according to what I think. But this class is about what you think and how to correct that thinking. So whatever questions or confusions you have, you clarify then and there. It will be much better also for you also. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. One second. I'll just go. This one.
So shall we go with option 7?
Yeah, sure. So you're saying now I'll assume that Q score is 360, then P score will be 40. You'll add 40. Yeah, you can make that also. Okay. So now Q score is 360. Let's assume. Then we know it should be plus 40. So you'll assume 400. Okay. Like that. If it is 380, then you can assume it is 420. Like this. Then you will see whether Q's and P's relation is same. Is it? That is also good way of solving. My only intention was to give a formal kind of an answer, but what you did is also correct, because options are somewhat simpler. Had it been, let's say, like 10,000 or some 20,000, it would be difficult. But since they are in 3-digit, you can do it, no problem. Then what you have to do is basically find the relation. Okay, like if you say point, then you have to see what 0.9 into P. Okay, just find out 0.9 into P. If you get 360 here, you get some X here, something. This and this should match. Yeah, so it's matching in point A. You can go. Okay. A person P asks one of his friends X as to how much money he had. X replied, if Y gives me 40, then Y will have half. So this is very, he could have simply said how much money he had. He's just giving puzzles. So he says, if Y gives me rupees 40, then Y will have half as much as Z. But if Z gives me 40, then three of us will have equal amount. Okay, so it's some statements they are saying, and again we have to assume things because we don't know. So I'm assuming that X, Y, Z are three people. So the money they have is X, small x, small y, and small z. Okay, this is again an assumption. This is the first step. I'll always assume things. Second step, I'll find the relations. Now relations is given. He's saying X replied, if Y gives me rupees 40, then Y will have half as much as Z. Okay. So this is the, let's say, initial amount of money they had in their hands. This we have to find out. But now what is saying, if Y gives me 40, then how much will X have now? Initially X had X rupees with them. Okay. So if Y gives X 40, what will X have now? X plus 40. And how much will Y will have? Y minus 40. And Z will have same money. Now if this is the condition, this is, let's say, condition A. What is he saying? Then Y will have half as much as Z. That means from this condition, whatever Y is having will become half of whatever Z has. Cool? Okay, any confusion? Second, he's saying, but if Z gives me 40, then what will X will have in the second condition? Let's say this is the initial condition. First condition, this is what is the conditioning is given. Second, he says Z gives me 40. Then how much will X have now? X plus 40, not X plus 80. Okay, that is a confusion again. He's not going from this case to this case. He's going from this case to this case. Because he's saying but. That means this is one condition. But if initially only Z gives me 40. So X will now have how much? Y will have how much? Y Z minus 40. Okay. Any doubt in this?
So the question having and instead of but?
No, question will not have and, it will have then. Okay, then if Z gives me 40 means from first question from first to second will go. He's saying but, so means initially only, from initial condition only is going to. So it's basically is giving two alternate scenarios. If Y gives me 40, this is the condition. Also, if Z gives me the 40, this will be the condition. That is how he is framing it. Now what is he saying in the second case? Then all three of us will have equal amount. That means all these three amounts will be same. That means X plus 40 will be equal to Y equal to Z minus 40. Okay. So we have also finished the second stage now. We assumed things, we found out the relations. These are the two relations. These are the two relations. Now we'll see how to find out. Now once we get this, now what is the total money of that X, Y and Z? I mean, so you have to find out X, Y, Z individually. So from this equation, you know that Z is equal to 2 times Y minus 80. Okay, because you send to this side of the equation, multiply 2y with y and 40, it becomes 2y minus 80. And from this equation we know y is equal to z minus 40. So that means y is equal to, what is z now from the previous one? 2y minus 80 minus 40. Cool. This is what z. It is y equal to z minus 40 from here, but we have found out z to be 2y minus 80. Okay. So this means y is equal to 2y minus 120. Okay. So send y this side, send 120 this side. So what you will get? Y is equal to 120. Any problem in understanding this? Any problem? A simple equation, just try to solve. So from here you found out that z is 2y minus 80. Now since we know z and y have some relation here, so y is equal to 2y minus 80 minus 40. Solve it, you get y equal to 120. Okay. Now how much will x be? Can someone tell how much x will be? How much? 80, because from this equation we know x plus 40 is equal to y, and we know y we have found out as 120. So x will be 80. Okay. Now z also we know this equation, or simply we know y equal to z minus 40. So we can say y equal to z minus 40. Y we know is 120 is equal to z minus 40. So z will be 160. Okay. Any doubts? Any confusions? Okay. So now we know the x equal to 80, y equal to 120 and z equal to 160. So this was the third step. First step assume, second step find the relations, third step get the answers. Now what is he saying? What is the total amount of money? So add it. You will get 360. So your answer will be B. Okay.